What if dark matter holds the key to forgotten civilizations? What if the greatest secret of our existence is not buried in ruins carved into ancient stone or hidden in forgotten scrolls, but suspended invisibly in the very fabric of the cosmos? For centuries, humanity has searched for answers to the mysteries of its own beginnings, asking where we came from, what forces shaped us, and whether other civilizations might have walked this planet long before us. Archaeologists dig through layers of soil, historians translate fragile texts, and astronomers map distant galaxies. But perhaps the true archive of forgotten worlds is not in the ground or in the stars. Perhaps it is all around us, woven into the unseen matter that fills most of the universe. Scientists call it dark matter. Dark matter is the name given to something that refuses to reveal itself. We cannot see it. We cannot touch it. We cannot generate it in our laboratories. Yet we know it must exist because galaxies spin faster than their visible mass can explain, and clusters of galaxies hold together as if stitched by an invisible hand. More than 80% of all matter in the universe is made of this unknown substance. Without it, stars would scatter, galaxies would unravel, and the universe as we know it would collapse into chaos. And yet, for all its importance, dark matter remains a profound enigma. It is the silent background of creation, a shadow holding the universe in balance. But what if it is more than that? What if dark matter is not just a physical glue, but a hidden dimension of history itself? Imagine civilizations that rose and fell not only in the physical world we know, but in the invisible domain sustained by this cosmic fabric. Civilizations that learned to manipulate it, civilizations that disappeared into it, civilizations whose legacy is still encoded in the unseen structure of the universe. If even fragments of such a reality are true, then history as we know it is only the surface of a much deeper story. Our own records of the past are painfully incomplete. We debate when humans first mastered fire, how the pyramids were constructed, and whether myths of great floods or golden ages are echoes of real events. Evidence of advanced knowledge appears where it should not. Intricate astronomical alignments in monuments thousands of years old, maps suggesting awareness of continents long before exploration, artifacts whose purpose defies explanation. What if these anomalies are not mistakes of interpretation, but faint signals from civilizations lost to time? Civilizations that may have left no trace in soil or stone, but whose imprint remains in the very fabric of reality. To think of dark matter as a potential archive is to reframe the mystery entirely. Perhaps it is not merely a force, but a field of memory, a cosmic ledger that records the rise and fall of worlds, visible only when we learn how to read it. Our inability to see it does not mean it is empty. It may simply mean we are not yet equipped to perceive its contents. Just as a radio cannot detect frequencies outside its design, our senses may be blind to the layers of existence woven into the dark universe. This possibility stretches our imagination beyond the limits of traditional science, yet it resonates with the oldest instincts of humanity. Myths across cultures speak of hidden realms, invisible worlds, and gods or ancestors who dwell beyond sight, but not beyond influence. Perhaps these were poetic attempts to describe realities that physics is only now beginning to approach. If dark matter is the skeleton of the cosmos, might it also be the library of forgotten civilizations? Might it preserve what stone, wood, and metal could not? Tonight we step into this mystery. We will journey through the science of dark matter, examine the gaps in our history, and explore the idea that these two enigmas are not separate, but connected. Stay with this thought. What if the secrets of humanity's forgotten past are not lost at all, but hidden in plain sight, surrounding us, binding us, waiting for us to finally understand? Before we continue, remember this. Every unanswered question is an invitation to look deeper. If you want to keep exploring the silent mysteries of the universe with us, subscribe now and stay with the story until the very end, because the next revelation might change the way you see reality itself. The enigma of dark matter. Dark matter is one of the most persistent mysteries of modern science. It is everywhere and nowhere at once, shaping galaxies and bending light, yet defying every attempt to reveal its true nature. Astronomers first suspected its presence in the early 20th century when they realized galaxies were spinning too fast to hold themselves together. If only visible matter existed, galaxies should have torn apart billions of years ago. Something unseen had to be adding mass, something exerting gravitational influence without emitting light. That invisible presence was named dark matter. Over the decades, the mystery only deepened. Scientists estimate that dark matter makes up roughly 27% of the universe, while ordinary matter, everything we see, from stars to planets to human bodies, accounts for less than 5%. The rest is an even stranger component known as dark energy. This means that everything we know, touch, and measure is only a small fraction of reality. The vast majority is invisible, intangible, and so far, incomprehensible. Yet, for all its dominance, dark matter has never been directly detected. Sophisticated detectors buried deep underground, shielded from cosmic rays, wait in silence for a single particle to interact. Years pass, billions of collisions occur inside particle accelerators, but dark matter remains elusive. It refuses to be pinned down as if it is deliberately hiding from human perception. This absence creates a paradox. We are certain it exists because of its effects, yet we have no idea what it actually is. Some theories suggest that dark matter could be made of exotic particles, WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles, or axions, hypothetical particles that drift silently through space. Others propose it could be tied to undiscovered dimensions, perhaps even existing outside the framework of space and time as we know it. These possibilities stretch the imagination, but they all share one conclusion. Dark matter is essential to the universe. Without it, there would be no galaxies, no stars, no planets, and no life. And yet, here lies the question that science rarely dares to ask. If dark matter is so fundamental, could it hold properties beyond the purely physical? Could it carry patterns, codes, or imprints, not just of mass and gravity, but of history itself? If matter and energy can store information, as seen in the structure of DNA or the magnetic fields of computers, why couldn't the invisible majority of the universe be a vast cosmic archive? This thought is unsettling because it implies that we live in a reality layered with memory, one we cannot access. It challenges the assumption that the past is gone forever. Instead, it whispers that the universe itself may never forget. Every rise and fall, every civilization that has walked the earth, might have left echoes far beyond ruins and artifacts. Perhaps those echoes are suspended in the dark scaffolding that holds galaxies together. As we confront this enigma, the question becomes more urgent. Are we blind explorers stumbling through a universe filled with records we cannot read? And if so, what would it mean if we found a way to decode them? Could the story of forgotten civilizations be preserved not in stone, but in the silence of dark matter itself? Forgotten civilizations and the gaps in human history. When we study the past, we often imagine history as a straight line, a steady climb from primitive beginnings to the complexity of the modern world. But history is not a straight line. It is a fragmented mosaic. Entire civilizations have risen, flourished, and collapsed, leaving behind only whispers. Some left monuments that defy explanation. Others vanished almost without a trace. What we call human history is more like a half-finished puzzle, with vast sections missing. Consider Göbekli Tepe, a site in modern-day Turkey that challenges every assumption about the dawn of civilization. Carved with precision over 11,000 years ago, it predates Stonehenge by millennia. Its complexity suggests an advanced culture capable of architecture, astronomy, and organization at a time when humans were supposedly simple hunter-gatherers. No one knows who built it or why it was buried and abandoned. It is a mystery written in stone, standing outside the accepted narrative of human progress. Across the oceans, the Nazca lines in Peru stretch across the desert like messages meant to be seen from the sky. Their scale and precision are baffling, especially when combined with the absence of written records explaining their purpose. Were they ritual pathways? Astronomical calendars? Or perhaps echoes of knowledge passed down from an even older, forgotten culture? The lack of clarity forces us to ask whether our current understanding of civilization's timeline is complete. Then there are the enduring myths, stories of a great flood, of civilizations destroyed by fire, or of golden ages lost to catastrophe. These myths appear not in one culture, but in many, separated by vast distances in time. How did stories so similar emerge independently across the world? Were they mere allegories, or were they fragmented memories of real events, disasters that erased civilizations and left survivors to carry forward only fragments of the truth? Archaeological anomalies deepen the puzzle. Ancient maps appear to depict continents long before they were officially discovered. Structures like the pyramids of Giza are aligned with uncanny precision to celestial bodies, suggesting an understanding of astronomy beyond what we attribute to the builder's era. Artifacts of unknown origin sometimes appear in geological layers where they should not exist, challenging the neat timelines drawn in textbooks. What all these mysteries share is silence, the silence of civilizations erased by time, catastrophes, or deliberate concealment. The Earth itself is not a reliable librarian. Erosion, tectonic shifts, floods, and volcanic eruptions erase evidence as easily as we erase chalk from a board. What we see in museums is not the full story. It is the fraction that chance has allowed to survive. Now imagine if there were another way history could be preserved. Not in fragile stone or decaying manuscripts, but in the very structure of the universe. If dark matter permeates everything and exists everywhere, could it act as a hidden archive? Could the rise and fall of civilizations leave imprints not only on Earth, but in the silent scaffolding of reality? This possibility reframes the question of forgotten civilizations entirely. Perhaps the ruins we study are not the only evidence left behind. Perhaps there is a cosmic record, invisible but enduring, encoded in the same force that keeps galaxies intact. And if this is true, then dark matter is not just a scientific puzzle. It may be the greatest historical archive humanity has yet to discover. Dark matter as a cosmic archive. When we think of archives, we picture shelves of manuscripts, libraries of stone tablets, or digital databases stored on hard drives. But every one of these is fragile, limited, and doomed to decay. Over time, paper burns, stone erodes, and data corrupts. But what if the universe itself contains a kind of archive, indestructible and eternal? What if dark matter is more than an invisible glue holding galaxies together? What if it is a memory field, a silent library written into the structure of existence? Physics already hints that the universe is an information system. At the smallest scales, particles behave less like solid objects and more like carriers of information. Quantum mechanics describes probabilities, entanglements, and states that resemble codes waiting to be read. Black holes, once thought to destroy information, are now believed to preserve it on their event horizons. If matter and energy can store information, is it so far-fetched to imagine that dark matter, which makes up most of the cosmos, could hold imprints of everything that has ever happened? Consider the analogy of DNA. Invisible to the naked eye, it contains the complete instructions for building a living being. Every cell carries this code, recording the history of life across generations. In the same way, dark matter could act as the DNA of the universe, silently encoding the rise and fall of stars, the shaping of planets, and perhaps even the lives and civilizations that once flourished. This perspective transforms forgotten civilizations from lost mysteries into potential entries in a universal ledger. Their monuments may have crumbled, their languages faded, their artifacts buried beyond recovery, but their existence might still resonate in the hidden dimensions of dark matter. Like faint ripples across a vast, invisible ocean, these imprints could persist long after material traces have vanished. But how could such information be preserved? Some scientists speculate that dark matter interacts gravitationally not just with matter, but with the fabric of space-time itself. If true, then every great movement, every monumental structure, every heartbeat of a civilization could leave subtle impressions. These would not be visible to us in stone or metal, but woven into the architecture of the cosmos. In this sense, dark matter may not be passive. It may be active, a silent recorder of existence itself. The idea may sound radical, yet it aligns with an ancient intuition found in cultures worldwide. that nothing is truly lost. Many traditions describe a book of life, an eternal record of deeds, memories, and worlds. In modern terms, this could be a metaphor for a cosmic archive. Science speaks of entropy, the tendency of systems to lose order, but physics also tells us that information is never destroyed. It only changes form. If so, then perhaps the knowledge of forgotten civilizations is not gone. It is simply stored where we have not yet learned to look. The implications are staggering. If dark matter holds the imprints of lost worlds, then unlocking it would not only solve one of physics' greatest puzzles, but also rewrite human history. It would mean that our story is not a fragile line easily erased by time, but part of a universal memory that cannot be destroyed. The silence of dark matter would not be emptiness. It would be a silence filled with voices, waiting to be heard. Civilizations beyond detection. If dark matter is indeed a hidden layer of the universe, then the possibility arises that entire civilizations could exist within or alongside it. Civilizations invisible to us, undetectable by our instruments, yet as real as our own. For decades, scientists and philosophers alike have entertained the idea of multiple dimensions. String theory suggests the existence of extra-spatial dimensions beyond the three we inhabit. Quantum physics points to realities layered like overlapping sheets, each vibrating with its own patterns. Could dark matter be the stage upon which unseen civilizations have played out their destinies? Imagine a society that learned to manipulate the unseen forces of the cosmos. While we build machines to harness visible matter and energy, what if others, long ago or far away, tapped into dark matter? To us, their existence would appear ghostly, absent from our records, their cities and monuments hidden from our eyes. Yet their gravitational influence, their energy signatures, might still ripple faintly through the invisible web that binds galaxies together. This idea reframes the classic question, are we alone? The search for extraterrestrial intelligence often assumes that other civilizations must look and behave like us, using radio waves, leaving behind artifacts, or building structures we can detect with telescopes. But what if the truest civilizations never left such traces because they evolved in domains beyond our perception? To them, our visible universe might be only the outer shell, a thin surface stretched over deeper realities. There are hints, faint and often overlooked, that suggest this possibility. Ancient myths speak of beings who dwelled in realms beyond human sight, who appeared and disappeared at will, who knew secrets of the cosmos lost to ordinary mortals. While often dismissed as legends, these stories may be echoes of encounters with intelligences that existed beyond detection. Even today, unexplained phenomena, sudden bursts of cosmic radiation, strange gravitational anomalies, and the mysterious behavior of galaxies might be the faint fingerprints of realities overlapping our own. If dark matter hosts or interacts with such civilizations, the implications for humanity are profound. It would mean that the universe is not empty, but teeming with life forms and cultures we cannot yet perceive. Some may have risen and fallen long before us, leaving no artifacts we could recognize. Others might still exist, their presence woven into the invisible lattice of space, influencing us in ways subtle and profound. This possibility also challenges the way we define civilization itself. We measure advancement by material achievements, cities, technology, monuments. But what if true advancement means transcending the limits of visibility? What if forgotten civilizations mastered the art of existing in harmony with the unseen? Their absence from our archaeological record would not be proof of their inexistence, but evidence of their success in slipping beyond decay, beyond detection, beyond time itself. As radical as it sounds, science itself pushes us in this direction. The more we learn about dark matter, the more we realize our ignorance. We see its effects, but not its essence. We feel its pull, but not its presence. It is the greatest paradox of our age. The universe is dominated by something we cannot grasp. If civilizations once learned to grasp it, then they truly belong to a realm we can only imagine, and one day perhaps aspire to join. The clues hidden in myths and science. Humanity has always told stories about the unseen. Long before telescopes revealed distant galaxies, ancient cultures spoke of invisible realms, gods who walked among mortals, and worlds layered beyond the reach of ordinary sight. These myths, passed through generations, may be more than imaginative tales. They might be fragments of a deeper truth, early intuitions of realities hidden within the cosmos, echoes of encounters with forces we still struggle to explain. Consider the ancient Sumerians, who told of gods descending from the heavens, bearing knowledge far beyond human grasp. The Greeks described the underworld, not merely as a place of the dead, but as a parallel realm coexisting with our own. The Hindu tradition speaks of multiple lokas, or planes of existence, each inhabited by beings with powers beyond human capacity. Across the globe, indigenous peoples describe spirits, ancestors, and star beings who communicated from realms unseen. Different languages, different continents, yet a shared conviction. Reality is layered, and we perceive only a fraction of it. Now compare these myths to what modern science tells us. Physicists acknowledge that we see only a small slice of reality. The electromagnetic spectrum, which defines our vision, is a thin window. Beyond it lies a vast ocean of unseen wavelengths: radio, infrared, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays. We cannot see them with our eyes, but we know they exist. In the same way, dark matter may be another spectrum altogether, invisible, yet all around us. Myths may have been humanity's earliest attempts to give language to this hidden domain. Even the idea of lost civilizations resonates with myth and science alike. Legends of Atlantis, Lemuria, and other vanished worlds persist across cultures. Dismissed by many as allegory, these stories nonetheless capture the imagination because they echo a possibility. That human history is not as complete as we think. Archaeology continues to unearth anomalies, advanced structures in unexpected eras, astronomical alignments too precise to dismiss as coincidence, artifacts that defy their supposed timeline. These clues do not prove the existence of forgotten civilizations, but they point to gaps science cannot yet explain. Meanwhile, the scientific frontier offers its own myths, theories that stretch into the fantastical. Multiverse models propose infinite variations of reality. Quantum entanglement reveals connections that transcend space. String theory suggests dimensions beyond our perception. These are not fantasies, but serious attempts to explain the data. The language of physics now speaks in terms once reserved for mythology: invisible forces, parallel worlds, hidden energies. The boundary between myth and science blurs, each reflecting fragments of the same truth. What if both are pointing to the same place? What if ancient myths are cultural memories of encounters with dimensions we cannot yet measure? And what if dark matter is the scientific label for that same hidden reality? The gods of old, the spirits of tradition, the civilizations said to vanish without a trace. Perhaps they all share a common explanation: existence in layers beyond human sight, bound into the silent framework of the cosmos. This convergence of myth and science suggests a profound possibility: that the stories humanity has told for millennia are not mere fiction, but the earliest evidence of a cosmic truth. The whispers of forgotten civilizations may be preserved not only in stone and story, but in the structure of the universe itself. Dark matter may be the bridge between our myths and our physics, the place where imagination and mathematics finally meet. And so the mystery deepens. If myths carry fragments of truth, and if science confirms that most of reality is invisible, then we must ask, what else have we overlooked? What other secrets are woven into the silence of the universe, waiting for us to listen? The unanswered questions. Every great mystery forces us to confront the limits of what we know. Dark matter, in particular, stands like a vast wall in front of human understanding. We can measure its gravitational pull, we can map its influence on galaxies, but when we try to pierce beyond these shadows, we are left with silence. Yet, silence is not absence. Silence is the space where the most unsettling questions echo. What if dark matter is not inert but alive with properties we cannot yet imagine? Could it be interactive in ways that our senses and instruments fail to register? For decades, we believed the atom was indivisible, until we discovered its smaller parts. We thought the Milky Way was the entire universe, until telescopes revealed countless galaxies. Again and again, human certainty collapses in the face of new discoveries. Why should we assume that dark matter is merely a static substance, when it might be the stage for dynamics we have no framework to describe? Now consider the forgotten civilizations of our own world. If humanity itself is so prone to losing knowledge, entire languages gone, technologies erased, histories silenced by catastrophe, what guarantee do we have that other civilizations, perhaps even non-human ones, have not vanished in similar ways? Could they have left their trace not in artifacts but in dimensions we cannot yet perceive? If dark matter is indeed a cosmic archive, then somewhere in its silent depths may rest the memory of worlds long vanished, waiting for discovery. Here lies the paradox. We are a species obsessed with knowing, yet most of reality remains beyond our reach. We invent stories to fill the gaps, myths of gods, theories of hidden worlds, equations that stretch into dimensions we will never see. But perhaps these are not contradictions. Perhaps they are complementary attempts to describe what dark matter actually is. If so, then physics and mythology are two sides of the same search for meaning. The unanswered questions multiply. Could dark matter carry imprints not just of galaxies, but of consciousness itself? Could the thoughts and actions of civilizations leave subtle patterns woven into the fabric of reality? If energy is never destroyed but only transformed, could the same be true of memory on a cosmic scale? This idea unsettles scientists because it blurs the line between physics and philosophy. Yet history shows us that today's speculation can become tomorrow's discovery. We are left, then, with a haunting possibility. If dark matter holds the key to forgotten civilizations, the key to dimensions we cannot yet see, then unlocking it could change everything. Not just our view of the cosmos, but of ourselves. The search for dark matter may not only reveal the structure of galaxies, but also answer questions we once thought belonged only to myth and legend. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all, that the universe does not forget. We may lose monuments to erosion, languages to silence, entire cultures to time, but reality itself may preserve their echoes. If we learn how to listen to the silence of the universe, we may find that we are not only uncovering science, but rediscovering history, a new vision of history. History, as we have been taught, is a fragile record. It is reconstructed from fragments, broken pottery, faded manuscripts, weathered ruins. Entire narratives of civilizations are pieced together from what chance has spared from erosion, disaster, or deliberate destruction. But what if history is larger than the traces left behind? What if the true record of existence extends beyond museums and libraries, hidden not in human archives but in the cosmos itself? This is the vision we begin to glimpse when we connect the mystery of dark matter with the enigma of forgotten civilizations. Perhaps the gaps in our timeline are not mere voids, but evidence of a deeper archive we have not yet accessed. The myths of lost worlds, the anomalies in archaeology, and the silence of science converge into a single possibility: that history is not erased, but preserved in ways we do not yet understand. Imagine a civilization destroyed by flood, fire, or cosmic catastrophe. Its buildings crumble, its language vanishes, its culture dissolves into the soil. To us, it would seem as though it never existed. Yet, on another level of reality, its presence might linger, recorded in the unseen fabric of dark matter. Its rise and fall would ripple through the hidden scaffolding that holds galaxies together. Even if we cannot touch it, even if we cannot measure it, its echo might endure. This idea transforms how we view ourselves. We are not merely the latest step in a linear climb from ignorance to progress. We may be one chapter in a vast library of civilizations, many of which are invisible to us but preserved in the silence of the cosmos. This does not diminish our importance, it magnifies it. To live in such a universe is to realize that we are part of a continuum far greater than we imagine. It also reframes the concept of loss. We mourn the disappearance of languages, the destruction of ancient sites, the forgetting of cultural wisdom. Yet if nothing in the universe is ever truly lost, then perhaps those civilizations are not gone but waiting, their essence woven into the structure of reality itself. Our task may not be to mourn them, but to learn how to perceive the deeper record of existence. The search for dark matter becomes then more than a scientific quest. It is also a philosophical one, even a spiritual one. To understand it is to understand not only how galaxies form, but how civilizations endure beyond time. To ignore it is to accept that most of reality and most of history will remain hidden forever. And so we stand at the threshold of a new vision of history. A vision where myths are not dismissed as fantasy, but reconsidered as distorted memories of truths we have yet to grasp. A vision where science does not reduce wonder, but deepens it by revealing how much remains unseen. A vision where humanity is not alone, but part of an ancient continuum written into the cosmos. The unanswered questions of dark matter are not simply puzzles of physics. They are questions about memory, meaning, and destiny. If we can decode this silent fabric, we may not only learn how the universe works, we may finally discover that the story of existence is far richer, far older, and far more mysterious than we ever dared to imagine. Toward the edge of discovery. Every age of humanity has carried its mysteries. For early astronomers, the planets were wandering gods. For explorers, the ocean's horizon was a border into the unknown. Each generation believed it was close to understanding the world, and each generation was humbled when the veil lifted just a little more. Today, our horizon is not the edge of the sea, but the edge of knowledge itself. Beyond that horizon lies dark matter, a frontier as vast and silent as the cosmos it shapes. Science is racing to pierce this silence. Deep underground, detectors shielded from cosmic noise wait for faint whispers of interaction. Satellites orbit the Earth, scanning for anomalies in cosmic radiation. Supercomputers simulate the birth of galaxies, searching for patterns that could reveal the hand of the invisible. Yet for all this effort, dark matter remains untouched. The longer we search, the clearer the paradox becomes. The universe is built upon something we cannot see, cannot hold, cannot define. But the quest itself may be more important than the answer. To seek dark matter is to admit that we live in a universe mostly unknown. It is to embrace humility, to recognize that human knowledge is not a summit, but a path. Along this path, we discover not only the mechanics of galaxies, but also the fragility of our own assumptions. For centuries, civilizations believed their knowledge complete, only to be proven wrong. We too may be standing on the edge of a revelation that will rewrite everything we know. Now imagine what happens if dark matter is finally understood. If its properties are revealed, if its secrets unfold, we may find that it is not only the missing mass of the cosmos, but the missing record of history. The possibility of forgotten civilizations preserved in the silent structure of reality may move from speculation to evidence. That discovery would not only reshape physics, it would redefine what it means to be human. For if civilizations can vanish from our sight yet remain in the universe's memory, then perhaps nothing is truly lost. Every culture, every world, every spark of intelligence may leave an imprint. Our own actions, too, may ripple into this unseen fabric, recorded in ways we cannot yet imagine. The awareness of this changes how we see ourselves. We are not only observers of the cosmos, we may also be participants in its eternal archive. This is why the unanswered questions of dark matter matter so deeply. They are not confined to laboratories or equations. They reach into our myths, our histories, our philosophies, our very sense of purpose. They challenge us to expand what we consider real. They invite us to see ourselves as part of a story much larger than any textbook or timeline could hold. The edge of discovery is not a line we cross once. It is a horizon that moves with us, always reminding us that the unknown is greater than the known. Dark matter is that horizon today. And as we gaze into its silence, we must ask ourselves, are we ready for what waits on the other side? Humanity's place in the silent universe. In the face of mysteries like dark matter, humanity is reminded of its fragility. For all our achievements, skyscrapers that pierce the sky, machines that reach the planets, telescopes that gaze across billions of light years, we are still a young civilization, standing on the shoreline of an infinite ocean. We dip our feet into the water and call it knowledge, but the vastness beyond remains untouched. To acknowledge this is not to diminish us. It is to recognize that wonder is our most valuable inheritance. Our ancestors once looked at the stars with reverence, weaving them into stories of gods and heroes. Today, we map their positions with mathematics and trace their birth and death with astrophysics. Yet in both myth and science, the stars have always been more than lights in the sky. They are mirrors reflecting back our deepest questions. Where do we come from? Why are we here? Are we alone? And, most haunting of all, what remains when civilizations vanish? Dark matter adds a new dimension to these questions. If it holds the key to forgotten civilizations, then our own place in history becomes far more complex. We are not simply the latest chapter in a straightforward tale of progress. We may be one of countless civilizations whose stories are written into the silent structure of the universe. This idea both humbles and elevates us. It humbles us because we are not the first, and we may not be the last. It elevates us because to exist at all, in a cosmos so vast and mysterious, is extraordinary. This awareness carries responsibility. If the universe remembers, if every rise and fall leaves an imprint, then what we do matters. Our actions, our choices, our treatment of each other and of our world may echo far beyond the reach of history books. The thought that we might contribute to the universe's silent archive transforms daily life into something more profound. It suggests that meaning is not fleeting, but cosmic. It also reframes the way we view loss. Civilizations have disappeared, languages have died, and knowledge has been buried beneath the weight of time. Yet if nothing in the universe is truly erased, then those echoes remain, waiting. Perhaps this is why myths endure, why ruins still speak, why even silence has weight. They are reminders that the universe is not indifferent, but attentive. For humanity today, standing at the edge of discovery, this realization is both a warning and an invitation. The warning is clear. We are not invincible. Like those who came before us, we too could vanish, leaving only traces in stone and whispers in memory. But the invitation is more powerful, to live with the awareness that we are part of something greater. To seek knowledge not only to control our world, but to understand our place in the cosmic story. When we look into the night sky, we are not just gazing outward, we are also gazing inward, into the deepest layers of existence. The universe is not silent. It is filled with the echoes of everything that has ever been. Dark matter may be the medium of that echo, the invisible stage where civilizations rise, fall, and endure in ways beyond our imagination. And if that is true, then humanity's place in the silent universe is not small. It is essential. For we too are leaving our imprint right now in ways we cannot yet see. The eternal echo. At the end of this journey, we arrive at a haunting realization. The universe does not forget. Long after monuments collapse, languages vanish, and cultures fade into silence, reality itself may carry the imprint of all that has been. This is the profound suggestion hidden within the mystery of dark matter. It is not simply a question of physics or cosmology. It is a question of memory, legacy, and existence. Dark matter surrounds us, fills us, and sustains the very galaxies we inhabit. It is the silent majority of the cosmos, invisible yet essential. We ignore it because we cannot see it, yet without it, nothing would hold together. In this way, it reflects our own forgotten histories. Civilizations rise and fall, their voices swallowed by time, yet the universe continues to carry their echoes in ways we do not yet comprehend. Dark matter may be the cosmic parchment upon which the story of existence is written. For centuries, humanity has sought permanence. We carve our names into stone, write books to outlast our voices, build monuments to endure beyond death. And yet, everything material erodes. What if the true permanence is not in what we build, but in the unseen structure of reality itself? If dark matter is a memory field, then every act of creation, every moment of civilization, every spark of intelligence contributes to an eternal echo. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is erased. It is all there, written into the silence. This realization reshapes our understanding of purpose. To live is not only to survive or to progress, but to participate in the universe's memory. Our stories, our triumphs, and our failures are not isolated. They become part of a continuum that stretches far beyond what we can measure. We are not alone in this archive. Other civilizations, forgotten or invisible, may already share its pages. And perhaps one day, our descendants will learn how to read it, uncovering truths that seem unreachable to us now. It also transforms how we approach the unknown. Fear often arises from ignorance, from the sense that the universe hides too much. But what if the unknown is not a void, but a library? What if every unanswered question is not a barrier, but an invitation? The search for dark matter becomes, in this sense, a search for ourselves, for the parts of our history and destiny that remain hidden in the silent majority of the cosmos. And so, the journey does not end with certainty, but with wonder. The silence of the universe is not emptiness. It is filled with echoes, waiting. The greatest civilizations may not be those we excavate from ruins, but those written into the hidden fabric of existence. And perhaps as we gaze into the darkness between the stars, we are already hearing their whispers, faint but eternal. Finally, the call is simple. Stay curious, stay awake, and never stop asking questions. The universe is vast, mysterious, and alive with secrets. By subscribing and joining this exploration, you become part of a community that dares to listen to the silence and search for the echoes of civilizations forgotten by time. Because in the end, the greatest discovery may not be what we find out there, but what it reveals about ourselves.